leaf trough on. They just sent it back to the house. And now they're putting leaf trough back on. They put the aluminum soffits all around the house. Except they haven't got the west side done yet. They're working on the south side now.
It looks pretty good. It comes right on the end. It looks low.
And
Right on the very end. It's like you picked up.
you put the leaf trough on until the water slopes downhill rather than uphill.
See, I don't want to. If you go too far, I'm going to have trouble getting my end down. No, because we'll just set this side out, and I'll go up the outside. I'm down. Wait a minute. Unless you want to carry it down there. No, just go ahead, out the way you are. Alright. One more. Alright.
Faye is now putting the leaf trough back on after doing the overhangs.
Shove it out a little further. This way? Oh. Well, I'm going out. Just happened to go that way. Whoa! Now we gotta go down. Well, I only got a couple more steps. Peak it does, but I'm going to have to nail it in because what's wrong? Hold it up. Good enough.
say hi to him?
Hi, David.
Say hi to Grandpa. Say hi to everybody. Say look at Grandpa and say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Say hi everybody.
Now that's Faye up on top with the red hat on, finishing off the west side of the house with the soffit and the outer end of the roof there. And the other guy down there is Jim. He's fixing up the eave trough. It had to be taken off and put back on again. There's a major operation. We'll occur around the house and take off all the eave trough and put on new fascias and soffit and the whole works. Now, this is the last part of it. They got the scaffolds all taken down. And they're about ready to do something else.
There you go.
Pull away, Faye. Tell me, what was the hardest part working on the soffits?
Trying to get a ladder long enough.
How about you, Jim? What did you like the best about it?
The best or the worst?
The worst.
Well, I don't work in high spots.
You don't work in high spots. Well,
That takes care of that.
well, Dad does the high.
Guess you know who did the high, don't you?
It wasn't me.
There they go, putting the ladders away now.
Yeah, 'cause it was nicer before you come back.
That's Jim upright, laying bricks, locking up the door. Faye is over there repairing a corner. The corners to the brick house and the walls sort of separate. We're tied together right now, here and the top. Jim is putting in the last brick, the second door of the utility. Goes up on this poor old house. Only got 3 doors left. When they started, there was 5 outside doors, and they have closed up 2 of them. And we don't need them anyway. This door comes off the dining room on the north side, although the door faces west.
Sometimes it feels like life is flying by. Do we really have time to take time off, even for a silent night? When you wake that same morning, forget to worry where you're going, how far
A leopard and a leopard and a David.
Oh, I didn't get any batteries for him.
Leopard
What
and a
size battery does it take? Bigger than she
This is
is.
like dominoes in the kitchen plant when you play with animal cards. Isn't that nice? Let's see, there's a box.
Everybody, I have a beautiful genuine leather purse from Mom and Dad. Merry Christmas.
And you got some. Didn't you get those snowflakes?
She made them.
Oh, she made them.
Am I supposed to say my name? I got some wonderful white gloves from Justin and Jason. And I got this skirt or jumper, which is very cute, from Grandma and Grandpa. I got some nice white gloves to go with my jacket. And I got this nice necklace and these nice gold earrings.
I got a music box that plays, can you wind it a little bit? Music box dancers. Okay, whoops. There, and Jessica got, I also got some snowflakes. They're in here. And I got a pretty bow from Grandma. See my pretty bow from Grandma? And Jessica got a teddy bear that plays 18 Christmas songs. Yes, and she's having a good time.
Well, I got a bike light, a bike lock, and a bike bag, because I like bikes a lot.
And you got something from Chris and Carolyn.
And I got $5 from Chris and Carolyn and another calendar from Grandpa and Grandma. I thank everyone. Well, I got about the same thing as my brother. I'm Jason. I got a really neat bike light and a blue bike lock and a gray bike bag.
Jason, you didn't get a teddy bear, Justin did.
Oh, yeah. And I got the same calendar Justin did. And $5 from Uncle Chris, Aunt Carolyn, and the girls, and one boy.
Catherine.
I got this little bear. He's so cute, and his name is Santa Bear, and he comes in a little bag. And I got this turtleneck and a purple vest to go with it. And I got some white mittens from Justin and Jason.
Well, this has been a fun time. I have welcome friends, dishcloths and dish towels, and a pretty little Christmas ornament to hang down in Florida, and stars that they made from Carolyn. Oh, and I also got 3 slicers for my Cuisinart, but they don't fit.
Okay, next, who are you? Are you Jennifer?
No.
Who are you?
No. I'm
your name?
David.
Don't touch it. You're who?
David.
David. What did you get, David? What's that thing? A car track? A car track. You know how to put it together?
Yeah.
What did you get in here?
Blocks.
Some blocks. Yeah, there's some blocks here. Blockhead, it's a balancing game. What's this? What's this? What is it?
Mittens.
Mittens. Oh, yeah. What are these?
Cards.
Cards. Yeah, you got all those. Isn't that nice?
Your thing goes so narrow.
And I got 2 rattles, one for each hand. Isn't that right?
No.
Yes, I got
That
2 rattles.
shows that he's a deer. He's been after a deer.
I missed my first buck.
Daddy.
I'll tell you what I got. I got this thing right here. See that? It's to shine your cheeks up. And if you don't like that, it shines your shoe.
It's home, David.
See it shine? Look at it shine. See it shine? Let's see, what did Uncle Lee get?
Uncle Lee got
I missed a 6-point buck at 40 yards.
That was bad.
What did Uncle Lee
Lee
got
got
from
from
it? Babe, get that light. Watch how you don't try.
This is what Grandpa got.
What was that?
It's a brass piano light.
Well, turn it on.
It doesn't have a light? No.
Well, it's not useful if it doesn't have a light.
No, that's Grandma's slip.
It didn't come with a ball.
And also, he got a tape for his,
You gotta put the microphone. VCR.
for his VCR thing.
Recorder.
Recorder.
That's so he can take a picture of all the things we're doing.
Yeah, I said that.
That's what, so he can do what he's doing.
Today is December 25th, 1986. It's Christmas time, right?
There's no snow.
And there's no snow.
Yeah, we got snowflakes here.
Yeah, we got some snowflakes too.
Got about
No, really, this is the day after. The day after. Not the day after Christmas, but the day after Thanksgiving of 1986. It's the 28th of November. We have our Christmases early, so Grandma and Grandpa can head south in the warm weather and not have to build their fire anymore. See, their fire is going real good in their fireplace. See the fire in the fireplace there?
Stand up, Daddy.
That's winter in Michigan. And it keeps them warm. Everybody.
Well,
Yeah, who's here is Grandma and Grandpa
yeah.
and Roxanne and Lee and family. It's not just boys anymore, it's family. And then there's Chris and Carolyn and family. And it's not just girls anymore, it's boys. We had an extra girl with us a little bit earlier when Laurel was here, but she had to take her young one back to her foster parents, and Laurel is a young lady that's staying with us at this for a while.
Look at Earl.
Laurel went home. She went to visit some friends.
That's what we did this afternoon at 5:30.
Well, this afternoon at 5:30. Well, about 4 o'clock I went out hunting, and I sat in the woods and sat in the woods and sat in the woods and saw a couple doe go by, and then a whole bunch of deer came by about 5 o'clock, and I shot twice. That's the third and the fourth times I've ever shot the gun, and the first 2 times I got a deer each, but the third and the fourth time I didn't even hit it. Because I followed it another 100 yards or 200 yards or where the track was, and there was no blood. But it was one of about 7, 8 deer. The only one with antlers. But it's the first one with antlers I saw this year. And then at about 5:30, 6 o'clock, all the kids went up to Bob Langmack's. He's got a brand new barn up there. You've probably seen pictures of it. We saw where the cows lay down and go to sleep. We saw where the cows come in and eat their hay. We saw where the cows get milked in a little parlor. And
Tell David. David wants to tell him about it.
David,
Something to say about
what did you see the cows do there?
They sing.
They what?
Grandpa put the bears in
They
there.
stink.
Stinky you.
Were they stinky?
Yeah.
But that's where you get your milk from. Did you know that? The
What?
milk comes from cows. Did you know that?
Came from Mom. He's really gonna want to drink milk.
All that.
I used to go out when Mommy's tummy.
Bears.
Here.
Oh, Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And on a million my glorious son of old, the angels bending near the earth to touch
too bad that Steve and Connie and family and Alan and Susan and their family to be aren't here yet.
This is our first country Christmas.
Behave yourself.
Well, you know how it goes.
Bring on.
Is it on? It's all on.
Sure.
Start talking, Walter.
Well, where do you want us to start? Where should we start, Richard?
Start with you. Tell us about when did you leave home? When did you get here? Where'd you stop along the way? In about one sentence.
When did we leave home, Leora?
We left home on July 15, and we went across the southern part of the United States through Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, and up to Wisconsin, across the upper Michigan, and down to this area. Is that all right?
One sentence.
That's all right.
Now, Walter, who did you visit on the way? Because I'm just so excited. In this week, we've had 3 couples tell us how good Roxanne is, and we haven't seen her. And everybody has come and said she's ready. Yeah, right?
What do you mean ready?
Looks good. Well, her delivery date is tomorrow, August 25th.
Today is the 24th of August, and it's now 4:10 p.m. in a nice sunny afternoon.
1986.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 1986.
After entering the eastern part of the U.S. in Arkansas and going up through Missouri and up through Iowa and up through Minnesota and clear to Duluth, we branched off to Ashland, where we saw Leora's sister Helen and her nephew Lee and family out there for several days. Then over to Hancock, where we saw Leora's sister Wilma and family. Then down to Roxanne, which is a famous visit. We were one of the first of the recent visitors, and found Roxanne to be looking very good, very healthy, feeling good. She was a great hostess, entertained us well. We got down to see Lee at his office, which we enjoyed very much. Then down across the straits to Traverse City, and up the narrow peninsula north of Traverse City to the Oldenburg Methodist Church, in that beautiful cherry country where Leora's niece's husband is starting his first ministry in the Methodist Church. Then, well, from there on down to, through Midland to see some people, and down to Wasso to see Celia and Ed, and over to see Leora's sister at Obed, her family, and then her sister's family, Harriet, at Hazlitt, and
now we're at Richards.
Now at Richards, and enjoying our stay here at the Phelps Ranch.
What do they want to hear from us?
Well, tell us about your trip to Nebraska.
Yeah. We spent 10 days going and staying in Nebraska. Came back on the 20th. Then we came out here to see the Bartletts, who were here on Friday. Ed and Connie and Charlie and Richard and William and Walter and Leora. Had a good day. Went hiking and so on. Now it's Sunday and we're back again.
I think Ed should tell us about his daughter Kathy.
Well, we should finish about our reunion maybe. We came last night to our 50th school reunion in Charlotte.
That's yours, Ed Richards.
Right. And I had a good time. Then this noon, after going to Gresham Church this morning, we went into the all high school reunion at Charlotte. And okay. Yeah. Don't waste the footage.
Of all the people that are sitting about, I was the only one to touch the baby in the womb. I know by patting her tummy that Roxanne will have a boy. When we first got there, we saw a little red bug go by us in the opposite direction, obviously, at a high rate of speed. Celia just discerned that it was she, and not being quite sure, we proceeded to get lost in the woods near Escanaba, or Gladstone. We finally went back to a base, called home, found that she was at a doctor's office, Went down there, waited for her to come out of the doctor's office. She stood there to pay a bill. She pretty much dropped her drawers when she turned around.
No, it isn't. It's on.
I have a four-banger, a Buick, Century Limited, fully loaded, except for powers windows. And we bought it on Friday the 13th in a garage with the lights halfway off. Stupid purple color called Brian Brown. My wife wanted it, so we bought it. Tried it out. The first month, the power steering went bad. 3 months later, after we got back from Florida with it and a burnt hand, we love our Buick. Basically because we get about 34 plus miles to a gallon on it. We had 90-degree temperature, and we had the air conditioning on at all times, driving 70 miles an hour, day in and day out, and we averaged.
Hey, I thought the limit was 55.
We averaged well over.
Is it off again?
No.
Well, fine.
You haven't talked yet.
Oh, yes, I interrupt everybody. Richard, you're supposed to be in here, too.
And when I would come back after having been away for a bit and visit out here, oh, yes, he says, I remember the day you were born. Never forget that. It was a hot July 3rd. And said, your father was cultivating corn right out west of the Brickhouse in that big field. And you were born on that hot day, July 3rd. And Dr. Huber, who was a country doctor, horse and buggy doctor, from Needmore, 2 miles north, approximately 2 miles north, came down for the baby, and he was our family doctor then for several years. He moved to Charlotte, I remember, as we were growing up, and continued to be our family doctor.
But they had to go and get him in a snowstorm when Richard was born. Barely made it in time in February.
Yeah, and I understand he was a 10-pound baby.
Yes, I believe that's so.
As was Alan. I guess something with the word Alan in it, his name Alan. So.
Well, Richard got a good start, and it took quite a bit to stop him.
Yeah.
Quite a few people mentioned at the reunion, though, that he was still tall and skinny. But I wasn't.
Well, didn't they mention that for you?
No. No, but the fellow next to me, what was his name?
Bob Killian.
Killian said, you know, I remember Cecilia. She was so thin at that time, very, very slender.
Quiet, mainly.
But he said 3 times she was very small.
Quiet.
And then he said to you, he said, I remember you as being very quiet. But I thought that was rather interesting because when I went to my class reunion, I met a lady outside going in. I said, you must be going to the same party as I am. She looked at me and she says, yes, who are you? I said, I'm Lillian Ham, was Lillian Ham. And she made my evening. She says, but you were skinny then.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So it is kind of
Well, that's the joy of enjoying good cooking, Lillian.
Which we've been enjoying for the past week.
But that's kind of the way it is, because you looked around the room and there weren't very many skinny women there.
Well,
There were a few.
Yeah, just like I said about the one in my class that was so pretty. Virginia Soul was the prettiest gal in our class. She got fat too.
I'd like to sort of wind up this discussion here out in this beautiful sunshine on the east side of our house in the shade, and indicate that Walter, they are leaving tomorrow morning, and Celia and Ed sometime after this is over with.
No, they're going tomorrow morning.
Well, that's after this is over with.
Oh, okay.
And we're expecting Norman Wilmore to come over with a horse and wagon full of homemade ice cream, and Joe Simic is also coming out to visit us here shortly, and we want to sort of get things under control before all that company comes here. And I want to thank you, Walter and Leora, for coming out here to being with us this last week. We think that's wonderful.
Well, we enjoyed the week with you, and the hospitality has been terrific, and we always enjoy and gain weight on Lillian's cooking.
Well, Richard had you working real hard.
Yeah, thank you for all the work you did, Walter. And there's evidence of it on Leora, or it was on her arm right there. There's a little bit right there, see? That doesn't show.
Leora has the most battle scars.
Yes, and,
yes, I do.
And Celia and Ed were here also, but they gave moral and advisory support.
Well, Edward took her to the doctor, too. It was very important.
Oh, yes, had to wait for, how long did you have to wait?
About an hour.
A further extension of the Sunday afternoon meeting on the day of the class reunion, and these folks came out to visit us. In the foreground you see Joe Simic with a bald head, the white head, and Jim Fink beside him on the left, and next is Cecilia, and here's Mrs. Jim Fink. No, this is Ethel Simic, and Mrs. Fink over there in the blue, and Ed over here on the left. More people are here, but they will be coming back shortly. Here comes Leora coming down here, and there's Joan up there on the steps. She's Joan Wilmore. Her husband Norman brought the team of horses over, and Walter is out driving the team with Norman. He'll be back shortly. And that's Jim Fink up there taking a picture of me, taking a picture of him. There's our team of horses with Walter and Norman up there driving the horses. Beautiful team of horses. That's the mother on this side, the daughter on the other side. That's Norman on this side here. Walter over there on the other side. And that's Jim Fink over there taking a picture of him. It looks like Leora's coming out with some popcorn for the horses. Oh no, she'll give the horses to the men folks. This is September the 5th, 1986. And in the background you'll see the timber along the Thornapple River that is about to be harvested. And that's the wood lot full of soft maple that's been around for many, many years. There's 60 acres of that timber back there, and it was harvested about 7 years ago. And actually you can see a truck back there. That's two pieces of equipment there. The little red machine on the right is the skidder, and the big truck on the left is the one that hauls the logs to market. Johnson Lumber Company in Charlotte are the ones that are buying this timber, about 50,000 board feet. The green material growing in front of that is the Sudex that belongs to Hans and Bob, and they harvested about 2 loads a day. And there you can see their chopper right there when they hook onto that at night and load 2 wagons and take that material, that good green succulent feed to their cows. There's the machine loading the logs. Picks them right up and lays them on the truck. Here's some of the logs that have been pulled out and just piled here. And they will all be picked up and loaded onto the truck and hauled into Charlotte. They're mostly all soft maple. There's a few ash in there. Just about got the load finished. He really puts it down nice and easy like. Pulls it ahead a little bit so the load is nice and uniform. Pulls the log out of the pile, then lays it down and puts his teeth in the middle of it so the log will be balanced when he lifts it up and lays it gently on his truck. You can see the poison ivy vines hanging from the logs. He looks around to see what size log he wants for the hole he has on the truck. He just turned that log around end for end. Now he's got one different one he wants there. These are right up on top. Now the driver is chaining the logs solid so they won't roll off on the way back to Charlotte. And he tells me that he has about 6,000 board feet or 60 tons right there, 120,000 pounds. Logs here at this pile that he will pick up probably this afternoon. I expect he'll have around 9 or 10 truckloads like this. This is the second load of logs that they've hauled out today, and the guy in the red shirt is Bob Munster, and he's the buyer for Johnson. He's the one I negotiated with. Now Bob is cutting the logs up into saw lengths that they can take into the mill and debark and saw into boards. And that's Mrs. Goodrich over here with a white shirt on, and she marks the logs into the proper length, 8, 10, 12, 14, or 16 feet long. And Bob comes along and he cuts them in two. They're looking for the saw mark now. That log is hollow, so they got to cut the stump off to get a solid end. That tree, he's already cut two pieces off of it. Now the tree there hopefully will fall away from me and not hit the camera. So I'm going to stay right here. If it hits me, why, you'll see it on camera. He's putting a notch on the other side, so that makes it fall in that direction. Starting to go. It's starting to go. There it goes. See it going? And we're both here yet. Let's go through and cut off the limbs that are no good for logs and cut the end off the tree to make the saw log. Now, next job is to pull those trees out of the woods and up to the pile where the trucker will come and take them away. was about a 60-foot log. He's taken up to the rest of the logs he's pulled out, and then on up the road a ways. You can see Peg Papoy, that's Bob's sister, lives there. Stems on that one stump. There's one down there. He's hooking the cable on right now. And there's the one here leading to my left, and then right down underneath is the one that you saw fall a few minutes ago. And he's hooking onto it right now with a cable. See his arm down, hooking it around the other stump down there, and you pull both those out at one time. There goes another log that off that stump right there, telling you about. It's probably been growing for the last 90 years.
Three big spruce trees right here in the front, about where you make your roundabout. And I remember Lydia always talking about those, and how they would whisper in the night, wind was blowing through them, and she had a bedroom obviously on this corner, and she lived here for a while. But I was born here in 1916, you were born here in 1918, and then the parents and the family moved up to the big White House right back of you, about 500 feet. And he's building a fancy new dairy barn to hold, was it 63 cows? And right back of it is the big White House that Grandpa Green built, finished in 1906. And I think I have a bill of material on that someplace in all the records that accumulated after Father died. But just beyond the White House, probably not more than 100 feet, was a big log cabin, which all of us have a picture of, with Grandpa Green and the Grandma Green sitting there with Mother and Leela Dawson. Leela wasn't married yet. And Edith, I think, had been married and gone by that time. And you can see a corner of the old barn yet, and some silos standing up there. But Celia was born there in 1920, and then the parents moved to East Lansing, spring of 1957, and I had been gone 1937. Yeah, but I had been gone by about 3 years by that time, and I'd started Michigan State the fall before, 1936. So the whole immediate family reestablished there in 603 Evergreen. Facing the west, Langmax Hines Woods looks natural. The old Martin Woods about the same, and tree lines about the same back there. A lot of the stone piles are gone, which you buried, Richard had buried in the, what was it, 50s and 60s. You started burying those. And the old swamp is somewhat cleared, but back of that's the big maple sugar bush, which is doing very well. And Robert Langmack now owns the farm, except for this acre, is it acre here, Richard? That you
1.2.
1.2 acres, which you bought, and then the 80 acres just beyond it to the north, which you own. But Bob is taking a real good care of it, and he isn't farming as much as he might, because he's very busy milking lots of cows, but it looks like he's going to be reestablished here from his father, with whom he is in partnership now, and will probably in a year or so be here full time milking that big dairy herd, and well on his way to his first $1 million. It's a yard which he's adding some more footage on to make a nice roundabout, as he mentioned, but then right across the road is the old Wilmore farm, and Mabel died, when was that, Richard?
April the 20th.
April 20th.
She moved went to hospital April 20th.
Yeah.
She died about end of May.
Right. And Lloyd surprised us all and was married a couple of weeks ago to a very nice person. He was over this morning and showed us pictures of the wedding, which looks like a very successful event. But that's the old Wilmore farm, and Lloyd is pretty much cash cropping now with corn and I guess some beans, but he saved out a few steers, 18 or 20 head from his dairy herd. These are Holstein steers, which he's fattening up, and he's worked hard all his life. Mabel lived to be, what was it, 88? 87, yeah. Just a fantastic person. And she was so glad that you and Lillian moved back here. Gave her a lot of comfort, but she never really lived to see you establish your full-time residence here. But you saw her in the hospital, which was a very nice thing, and she could understand what was going on. But a great family, and Fred, of course, lived to be in his 80s, 85, I believe. Great neighbor, and just a lot of fine things happened here over the years since 1916 when Mom and Dad Schroeder moved back.
There's our yard man just coming back, and Walter went over to help him start the tractor with the jumper cables. And the man starts up the bulldozer and lets it run all afternoon while he hauls gravel with his new truck. He's got a load of chipped stone on there now. He just brought off from Charlotte. He'll dump it here where this other load is, and that will be part of the driveway. That will be the driveway. It's a good driving base. It soaks into the ground and stays smoother than gravel. And Walter's over there checking the tractor over to see that everything runs right. That's the cherry tree we cut down yesterday. 2 cherry trees, and there he's taking the stump out right now. Now he's filling up the hole he just made from taking the stump out. The stump there was the old box elder that we cut down. In fact, Chris cut that down last week one day. And that stump is over here, and this pile of stumps right over here. And the man hole where the box elder stump was. And the driveway will go right out through where he's working now. And that is another pile of chip stone he brought today. Here comes Carl with another load of topsoil that will be used for fill. Dirt there as we level the lawn up. There'll be probably 100 yards of fill dirt hauled in that lowest part of the lawn. And there's David out there watching the whole operation. It's about five yards on there. And level it off. That's Fred Meyer and his son and daughter out there laying out the driveway. Laying out the stakes, and that's the inside of the driveway and the outside of the turnabout. There's Samantha down here holding the line, and they're going to make a nice circular drive.
I can't see it. Richard doesn't trust me with this camera. Am I supposed to be talking? Well, that's Richard and Walter out there putting stones in. Walter's driving the tractor and Richard's lifting up the stones. He's sure getting a lot of work out of Walter this week. barn?
Oh, pretty good.
Oh, that's good. Hey, your barn's coming fast.
Yeah, they're pretty busy up there.
Yeah, they really are. Richard wouldn't let me take pictures over in Europe because he said I didn't know how. So this is my experiment. How do I turn it off?
Push that button.
Yeah, I do.
I talked to my friend about it. Good. He's not going to go to Franklin. So just take the tractor, Walter. Just go downhill away this time.
There goes Richard out to help Bob. I guess he has to drive the tractor for him. I'm not sure. Anyway, he's going out there. And Walter's coming over here with his tractor. With a drag on behind. Whoops, I missed it. Walter hasn't driven this tractor before, so there's Richard up on Bob's tractor. Not sure where they're going to go. We're waiting for Leora and Harriet and Ray, I think his name is, come for dinner. There they go. I think he's going to go get some food for his towels. Walter's having a little problem getting the drag connected. It came off just as he started the tractor to drag on the ground. And Richard went off and left Walter to do it. Started. All
you put?
Yeah.
It's on. Green light's on. See the green light right go where your picture is?
Oh yeah, way down.
Now push your thumb again. You see it go off.
Now we've got the men folks smoothing up the yard. See that pile of rocks there? That's hard work for the two there. But there's a really hard job. This is the whole hollow that they've leveled, filled and leveled. Still see a few piles of rocks to go. Charlie, Richard, and there's the hard worker Walter. They're just about done with that pile now. This is manual labor that you can expect to get into when you come and see Uncle Richard.
This is May 22nd, 1987, of course, and another report from 5757 Wheaton Highway is the installation of this old school bell or calling bell for people who need to come in for dinner. In order to get it up high, it had to be hoisted with this farm tractor, an old Ford Ferguson, as many of you are familiar with, and it had to be balanced because the bell is solid iron, cast iron, and then it had to be affixed firmly in two areas, two big supports there, and then following down near the bottom, sitting on a concrete hollow block, is another fix, which we just got in. And this is kind of an after the fact type of situation. There's a few interruptions, as you can see, when we're involved in doing important work. Balloons are important, and there was one of the maids weeding the garden in the process. But you can see this bell installed on the north side, but also on toward the east end of the garage at 5757 Wheaton Highway. And this is Chris Schroeder reporting on May 22nd, 1987 from the area of Gresham, Michigan. Completing the installation to reinforce the stability of the bell on top of this 4x8 is the gentleman who lives in this abode and also is the handyman around the area. He actively involves himself with different projects. One of those projects you can see was laying the stone along the side, and he's as you can tell, not all the time do you remember everything, and I guess apparently the bolt is in the basement, so he'll have to go and find out what is necessary. Meanwhile, of course, every job needs to have a supervisor, and the maid in the garden also turns out to be the supervisor of most of the activities here. And here are some of the observers of this event. Master David John, pretty Kristen Lynn, who is considering going to Germany again next year after she graduates. That's before she goes to school. And of course there's the beautiful Carolyn Schroeder sitting right beside her and enjoying a conversation. And there's a lot of wind out here today, incidentally, if you wonder why I can't keep the camera still. Well, with all the necessary parts and tools under control again, you'll see the master of the house and handyman ascending the ladder, and very carefully, you notice you've got it well balanced between the two rungs of the ladder so that it won't tip. The base of it has been planted firmly in the ground, and always being sure of safety and security. He is up installing the final bolt of this assembly, and you can see in the background the trees rather shaky in the breeze. I think there's about a 20-mile-an-hour breeze blowing right now. Yesterday the temperature got up to 90 degrees and about 80% humidity. The felt temperature at that time was about 96, 97 degrees. Very, very warm, very miserable. You can see the bell. It needs a little oil, but it does work. Can we hear that just one more time for the audience? He was just explaining that the handle is gone and the ringer is gone. So it's just a bell. Apparently not for use, it's a bell for ornaments.
That used to be on that bell used to hang up about 20 rods south here on the other house where we moved to after I was born here. And about 6 months later we moved up to that other house, and this bell was on the woodshed, which is about this far from the house up there, same distance from the back porch. And when we were working back in the fields all through here at noontime, or if we were working around the barn, the mother would come out and ring that bell, and we could hear it all around here. We were working way back half a mile away, and we could hear the time for dinner. And today, you see, that wouldn't work because the tractors make so much noise, you wouldn't hear it. But the horses are very quiet when they go about their business. They don't make a lot of noise. But the tractors make so much noise, the bell is no good for calling people dinner. So now it's going to be a remembrance of the days gone by. And we'll use it on occasion. We'll find a handle for it and the dinger for it someplace at a antique hardware, I suppose. So we'll make use of it in any event, but it's a nice landmark because it used to be up here and we used it for many years, and when it finally fell down, Celia rescued it from, I suppose, 20 years ago from that old woodshed up there and took it to Owasso and put it on a little post back for her house and left it there for many years. And then last summer, one day, she and Ed came out here and backed the car up to the garage and opened the trunk up and brought that bell out and set it on the ground. She said, "It belongs here." It belongs here.
Behind you on the roof?
Okay. Now, at Christmas time, we got a weather vane. That is a present from the Chris Schroeder family. Now you see the wind is from the west. See, it's blowing towards the east. The old rooster is looking into the wind all the time. That's a typical feature of a rooster, looking into the wind. And the pointer there, and you see the west and the east and the north and the south. And so we can sit in this window over here in the kitchen or upstairs, and we can see that weather vane from that in that position. If we put it up by the other end for the people to see, we wouldn't be able to see it sitting here at the table where we eat our meals right there in that lower window, and upstairs we can see it from there also. So the weather vane was put up for our use at our convenience, and it really works.
We're on.
Oh, good.
Today is June the 7th, 1987, 6/7/87. And this is a Sunday afternoon. It's a hot one outdoors.
Oh, it's nice in here, though.
About 85, 90 degrees outdoors. And we just finished having
A super dinner.
watermelon. Like watermelon. And barbecued chicken. What else do we have? Iced tea.
Potato salad, spinach salad.
It was all good.
Rolls, cinnamon rolls.
Broccoli quiche, cinnamon rolls.
Asparagus.
No sugar.
Here comes Dave.
Lack of sugar cookies.
Here's Shade Man.
So we're just enjoying a dinner together. We have lots of guests. We're at the Schroeder residence in Sunfield. This is the Chris Schroeder residence, and not at the Richard Schroeder residence in Wheaton Road in Charlotte, Gresham. So we're
How's that for spontaneity?
That was the return of the swallow.
That was great.
So we're just here. We have been picked to or solicited to say some things on tape.
I don't know whether I dare talk now or not. This has been a fantastic dinner. But we started out this morning in a church service that was really spiritually filled. I really got much from that church service.
They serve
And
good
that-
punch over there too.
Oh, do they? I didn't get any. And then we came here and had such a wonderful dinner. And how Carolyn, Chris, and the girls, and David could ever do all that they did yesterday and have this ready for us today
You
is
know
more
how?
than I.
Let me just say, the
Okay.
reason why Chris, Carolyn, and the girls and David could do it was because David wasn't here yesterday. He was in Kalamazoo with
Oh,
his
that's
cousin.
right.
But we can get a lot done that way.
Yeah.
This is all sticky. My name is A.J. Sexton. I teach hot air ballooning in a small college in Taos, New Mexico. And I was on my way to Alaska for some whitewater rafting, and my car broke down outside the church here. And just happened to mosey in and find some people there that could give me a meal and lodging, and I'm enjoying my stay here in southern Michigan.
A meal's one thing, but lodging?
My name's Catherine, and I don't know what to say. It was a good dinner. That's all.
Well, hello, I'm Carolyn, and I'm just grateful for every one of these family represented around this table and my fine family for helping in the preparations of all the food and the house. And anyway, this is a grand occasion. I've waited almost 4 weeks for Donna to get here, and she's now here, and she's going to be sharing with our women of our church on Thursday for a women's retreat. So she's here from Tampa, and I'll let her introduce herself. But it's a real joy to have Roxanne and Lee and their family to worship with us. We have longed to fellowship with them as brothers and sisters in the Lord together, and this is just a real special day to have them worship with us and be one with us in Jesus.
Hi, I'm Miss Kristen, and I just got a job as a waitress, and I've been practicing working on these people and serving them, and
Doing a great job.
Actually, just AJ, but no.
Are there scorecards just to fill out?
Yeah, that'll be, yeah. No. Man, we're just having fun here, and we had a great time in church, and during last week's service too, and also in the musical The Witness. We're planning on doing it in a couple weeks too, next week. We'll skip Becky for now.
Hi, I'm Justin, and this is a pretty good meal, and I like the church service we had today. Well, the best thing about this meal was that there was chicken in it. We usually have that for Sunday, but this is extra special since it was fried out in a grill with sauce on it. Well, everybody should know who I am. I'm Jason. Jason, where is David?
Pass it to
Well, here, okay. Shooting watermelon seeds. Okay.
Hello, my name is Becky Schroeder, and we had a nice day, and I'm glad that everybody could be here. And I hope that we're gonna have a wonderful day, rest of the day. We can go swimming.
Out in the pool?
Out in our pool, yeah.
We had watermelon for dessert today.
With my cookies that I made.
Did you make the cookies?
Great. House cookies.
There's Lee Evison.
This is Lee Evans.
I'm the real AJ Sexton. This man over here is an imposter. He should be arrested.
That's not true.
I was abducted and taken here. Right from Canada. I was sleeping in my bed, and somebody came in, opened the door, left the door unlocked, and somebody came in, snatched me up, and here I am, 7.5 hours later. But I'm really enjoying my time here, and it's really wonderful to be in the family of God with friends, brothers and sisters in the Lord. And on that note, I'm going to pass this on to DJ.
And I'm the one who stole him. Oh. So kind of, yeah, AJ and DJ. Kind of words of wisdom. Hi, Dad. They always have to, I have to do that because they always do that. I'm very excited about being here, and I'm. Oh.
I can't wait.
And Jessica is.
Look at that face. Wow.
Here. Can you say something?
When he turns the camera on her, she'll be so sober.
Huh?
Would you like to eat it?
Where's the clock? Where's the clock? Where's the clock?
Oh. It's okay, Dad. We can talk.
Yes,
Oh,
you can
okay.
talk. For me.
I just want to share that Carolyn is probably one of the most special people in the whole world to me. And I've only known her just for a short while, but she seems like, you know, we've been sisters and forever. And it's just real special to be here. And I don't know exactly what God's going to do, but I know He's going to do something great. And I really appreciate y'all praying for me because the last week has been really bad. And I know that the enemy is really trying to discourage me. But I'm here, and I just love all y'all. And I just appreciate y'all so much. And I'm going to cry. So I'm going to give it to you.
I am Jessica's mother.
The
miracle. And I am the real AJ Sexton's wife. And I am Justin and Jason's mother. And I am the lady that burps daughter. And I'm the cameraman's daughter, and I'm better known as Roxanne. And Jessica's just having a good time, aren't you?
Where's David?
Where's the clock? Where's the clock, Jessica?
David.
Oh, say hi. You gonna say something? Come on, say something. Let's hear you talk a little bit.
Hi.
No, you just want to play.
Jessica, bye-bye.
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 Jessica's been eating Cheerios and she's just about ready to burst.
Dave.
You want to see Grandpa? You see Grandpa? Look over there. Look over there. See Grandpa. There's Grandpa. There's Grandpa. David, can you come up here right by Jessica and talk to Grandpa on the camera? Stand right around here in front of Jessica.
Nope.
There we go. Now give him the mic. Give him the mic
You
here.
want to say something?
And then Justin, you back up and we'll get
Dave,
Jessica
say
in there too.
something.
You want to hold that?
Can I hold this?
What you
Talk
been
to
doing
Grandpa.
outside?
Say hi to Grandpa. Can you say hi to Grandpa?
That's kind of stuff.
Hi, David.
Look over at Grandpa.
David, look at here.
Look at Grandpa.
Where's Grandpa? What's Grandpa got? What's Grandpa
Hey,
got
Dave,
in his
did you like
hand?
the chicken?
Dave.
Hey, Dave, did you like the chicken? Wasn't it good?
Hey, Dave.
Grandpa wants
Well, I'm Grandpa Schroeder, responsible for some of this mess here, and proud of it all, even the good and the bad parts. And enjoyed the day myself, and we're looking forward to more of them, more fun this afternoon, and more days like this in the future. So we'll sign off.
Too small? Too small?
Yeah, it looks like it's too small. Let me come over and check it.
About the size of my arm. A third fish of the day. And a small worm. I caught 5 small. Fishing's pretty good here, better than I've usually had. If your photographer would kindly look down, he could see about 5 or 6 bluegill floating around. That's how many there are. You can see them. I'm trying to fix up my bobbers here. Catch lots in here, at least to me. Catch a lot.
Think it's too windy?
Yeah. Minutes. The expert fisherman has snagged a fish. Nice way to catch him. This is a shrimp of the day. A couple pro anglers produces 5 nice bluegills.
Look at him! He's wrestling! He's wrestling! He's wrestling!
Hey, you guys. What you looking at?
Nothing. Yeah, we're looking at the.
At the trailer?
Yeah. I'll open it. I'll open it. Oh, yeah,
Gonna go bye-bye, Jessica. Gonna go bye-bye. You gonna go bye-bye. I'm gonna go bye-bye. Yeah. Gonna go for a ride. Do you wanna go with the kids? Huh? Look at Daddy. She right back here.
The crew, after a big supper, and on our way to the river and the walnut grove, and we're going to examine a big rock. Here they come off of Wheaton Road, now turning on to Briggs Road, and going on down towards the river. This road here we're looking at, Briggs Road, is a half a mile long. There they go.
Well, we've arrived at our destination. Examining the structure of this bridge. An engineering marvel of the 20th century. So, here's our fearless leader. You have a word to say to your troops?
Well, I would like to report that this bridge has been a long time. Catherine asked me how old is this bridge, and I said, well, it's older than I am. It's been here a long time because the people who used to live up here in those buildings owned this land back here, so they had to have a way to get across. But the other bridge used to be made out of wood and logs and so forth. And there used to be railings on each side of the bridge. And when I was the age of these kids right here, we used to go swimming right down in there. The trees weren't there then. And there's a hole, no logs, and that was a great place after making hay up there in those hot fields. We'd come down here at night and swim in that area right in there. The Wanzers used to live up there, and they had kids our age, and swim in there. And then in the springtime, we would bring our spear in a boat, and we'd float down the river and spear suckers in the river along there. So it's got quite a lot of history to it. And from this point up there, where you see the braces on the fence, is our walnut grove. We're going to go up there shortly to look at them. And that fence along there is the edge of our 80 acres. And we're now on the Wilmore's property right here, Lauren Wilmore.
Careful, Dave.
And we're going to look at a rock shortly that was taken out of the riverbank.
Can you people throw a rock in the river down there to show how far down it is? And well, can you get another one and throw it? Give one to David.
Here. Please do it on the other side.
Okay, throw it in. There's the river behind the. And on the other side of the river, this looks back onto the Schroeder property. Back through that little tunnel of trees is the place that's going to be cleared out so we can get some good run on the river.
See the rock over here?
Look about this rock I found!
See, the rock is flat on this side here.
There we go.
Look how big it is. Look at huge.
Jessica.
It's kind of rounded down to this side.
How are they going to do anything with it?
Referring to, as we stood on the bridge, this rock came out of the bank right here. The river's just right in those bushes there. You can hear the water splashing. And last year, Wilmore's cleaned this out along here with sand, and some that over there you see is our property again, part of our 80 acres on this north side of the river. And they scattered that sand along the edge of the woods to raise the road up so that they could get back to the back end of this cornfield. And this rock was in the bank here, and it was pushed back out of the way, and Wilmore said I could have it if I wanted it, because I showed some interest in it. And Lloyd will move it for us, and the problem is where to locate it in our yard at the Brickhouse. And we haven't come up with a good location as yet. And once we get the location, then we can put the rock there, but it would be kind of hard to take the rock there without a location, because once we get it, we won't move it again. It's a pretty big rock, as you all can see.
We got some news here. We just found a new discovery.
It's part of an arrowhead. It was chipped off, and you can see where it was chipped off right there. And the form right here you can tell because it's got the is in right there.
How many arrowheads did Bob say he's found?
That's a part of an arrowhead. Now Bob Longmack, who lives beside of us, found he's got a half a dozen or more of these in his house that he has found along the river over to the south of us. That the Indians that roamed through this area hunting left those behind after they shot at an animal. The arrowhead was attached to the arrow, and if they missed the animal, then the arrowhead disappeared too. So they didn't go pick it up, and they left it laying there, and then they're finding those now along the river here.
Yeah. Catherine's been taking archaeology through her special class on Saturdays, and she found this right here.
Yeah, we have. I've been on 3 digs so far, and they're really neat because we found one time. We found let me see, what was it? Found some pottery, and we found a bunch of things. It's really neat to go on digs because we find a lot of interesting things.
No? Oh.
Everybody's walking across the cornfield now, and we're about to approach the walnut grove just the other side of the fence there. And this is David up there, and Chris and Carolyn and Lillian and Catherine and Becky up there by the fence. Now Chris is showing us here the growth this spring. This is June the 8th. All that length, about 3 feet in there, is all growth this spring. This tree was planted in 1980. You can see how big it is. It's about a good 12 feet high. And there's these two along the edge here were planted 2 years ago, and they're all new growth on top. That's at least 12 inches of new growth on those smaller trees.
We could use some more new growth on top too.
Yeah, there's need more growth on top there.
What's this?
You'd hardly know we trimmed them last year.
Yeah, these had extensive pruning last year with Chris, and the DNR boys came out and helped us do it, and Walter was here also and did a little pruning last year. But we've hauled a lot of stuff. You can see the scars on the trunk there. We trimmed all that off last year to encourage the tree to assume more height and not spread out. And the big job was to get a leader at the top. You can see there's a couple going up there. Now we'll have to make a decision probably next year maybe to encourage one of those to go on up and become the leader of the tree. The tree that we trimmed last year, kinds of scars here, and we tried to cut off enough lateral branches to make that one go up to become the leader. Well, I can see that there's a lot of laterals going out from that leader up there, and the leader that we left, there's nothing going straight up from it. I don't know what happened to that. Now, like right here, you see here's a leader we left last year, and you can see right in there, there's a new leader with about 4 laterals. These are all new this year, came out this spring, and one of those will continue, and this will all fill up along. These are buds along here. These will probably come out next year, give it a lot of width to the tree and leaf area to cause the tree to grow. It needs a lot of leaf area to manufacture food material for the root system and to increase the diameter of the tree. But that's a good start on that tree there. That will be a nice tall tree eventually. And you can see down the rows here, we started behind us in 1980. We planted for about 4 years, about 50 trees, 50 to 75 trees we planted, and we'll walk down that way eventually and show you the second. In fact, that's the second planting right here in front of me. The third and the fourth around down there a ways. That's a quick way to get rid of brush. It's a lot easier than doing it by hand and trying to burn it up. That's the Lloyd Wilmore residence in the background. You can see him in his new barn there, in the old barn that's been there for many years. On the west side of the road, you see the Richard and Lillian Schroeder residence on Wheaton Road. That's Lloyd Wilmore right there. I just showed you his house, and he's coming home from town and watching all this work going on right here in front of his place. Well, this is September the 3rd, 1987, and Bob and Christine are adding a 60-foot addition to their 120-foot barn. The boys now are pouring the outside wall on the west side. You see in the center, there's some flooring already poured, and Mr. Wilcox is smoothing it out over there now. And this is a vehicle right here that brings the ready mix out from Charlotte. You see the posts all in place. They're set in concrete in the ground, and they will support the building. Now he mixed up a little bit, put more water in the mix, and he's going to start pouring the floor. See, they're putting down the floor now. It's now 6 o'clock in the evening. I expect they'll be here after dark getting all this trialed out and smoothed out and so forth. They run some out with from the mixer, and then they use their hose and level it off and take the 2x4 and pull it back and pour a lot of cement in a hurry that way. You see Bob way over there. I guess that's Christine in the barn walking over there by the cattle. See, this is the present barn right here. 120 feet long. There's a house up there on the end. Here's the boss and the owner right there. Bob and Janelle and Christine. The present herd of cows right in there. He feeds about 55 cows. A new cement. That's a landmark for the new cement job. That's Kyle, his dog, and that's where the dog went, right over there in the new cement. Smoothing trowel on there now. It's a float. Long handle. I see one fellow way back there run that long float across there. This addition is 48 by 48. The cows will be eating along this side here. You see this wall. There's a new barn. And here's the present barn right here. This is September 4th, 1987. And here we have Pete. If you want to turn around and get a better picture there, you look good now, Pete. And there's Mariette over there, Lillian, and there's Florney, and empty chair on the end where I sit. But this is a nice summer day in September. We're enjoying our dinner.
Beautiful.
Angel food dessert right now on the table.
Took us a long time to get here.
Yeah, Mariette came clear over from near Grand Haven, and Pete and Florin came all the way from Grand Haven. And see the pretty flowers in the center there that Lillian grew out here in our yard.
Out in that tire out there. Can you see the tire out there? Well, let's see it. I guess. When do you do your work when you're gone so much? It doesn't get done.
Now this is about 3:30 in the afternoon on the our west porch. Everybody's out here enjoying the nice, cool, fresh air, sunshiny on a September afternoon. Very nice.
Pete Morrissey with his hand. Beautiful day.
This is September 10th, 1987. There's Jim up there, and after we got the scaffold set up and getting ready to take the block, which is down on the ground and phase down there with the nameplate that goes up there in the peak of the house. And they're getting ready to pull now. And we hope that nothing comes apart. There it goes. There goes the name up on the scaffolding, and nothing's broke yet. Now Jim has just been given the electric chisel there. Faye just brought it up, and now he's going to knock the mortar out. And they got the hole just about completed now. You can hardly see it behind the scaffolding and the pail up there with the old brick and stuff in, but did a nice job getting it all out of there. There's a hole in the wall. See the insulation behind it? And one of the studs sticking up there towards the right side of it. And now we're mixing a mortar. There's Faye mixing a mortar to hold the new nameplate, cornerstone, or whatever you're going to call it, in place. Well, they've got the mortar in along the bottom course, and there's a nameplate going up there now. That's 12 inches up and down and 24 inches long and 4 inches thick. There they go, putting her in now. That looks nice. So far, so good. Now they're getting it centered north and south and level the long way, so it'll look like it's put there originally with a house. There's the finished job. And down here the boys are taking the scaffolding down now and passing a couple holes on the way down. There it is. All done. Taking her down, patching up as they go down. Well, the job's all done. And there's a sign, Phelps. William and Harriet Phelps were our great-grandparents, and their son Daniel Phelps was also involved in this house, and so the Phelps there represents several people, and actually Samantha Phelps, who was our grandmother, is also involved in that name, although she never lived in this house. She lived up at the house north of here.
To you, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandma. Happy birthday to you.
Get over there.
Yeah, you're supposed to go in here.
Oh, here. Sweet celebrity at 70. I like that.
A celebrity at 70. Sweet 70. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy 70th, Grandma, love, Catherine, David, and Chris. We love you. God bless you with many more years.
Show your gifts.
Oh yeah, you gotta show all your gifts, all your presents. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Since one of our daughters aren't here.
Yeah.
You should put this over your
One
head.
of ours up there, and that's her.
Isn't that beautiful?
Senior picture.
And she called up,
Hold it up again so you
to
can
say happy birthday to me from her work.
turn it towards the light a little bit. There.
There we go. A couple pictures.
And these are the two books that we haven't looked at.
Say it again.
These are two books that Alan gave me. One is Washington, City of Many Dreams, and the other one is The Great Lakes. And we, just as we got in the house a little while ago, I shouldn't say that, did I? Steve and Connie called, wished me happy birthday, and they have sent me some more lily bulbs. This is a scarf that Alan brought back from Italy. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
This will tell about some of your expeditions today.
Yes. We had
Going up
fun.
north.
We really had fun. Went
It's
up
not
to-
like, don't drop this on your toe, Dave. It's heavy. Want to try to lift it?
I wonder how
Huh?
it does. It's supposed to have a post on
Oh, what it is.
It's a, what is it?
It's a grill.
A Simcad.
It's a Simcad.
Barbecue grill. And
You know
got
how
a picture.
Dad loves to grill.
Here's a pretty picture.
What did you eat tonight?
Oh, we ate in Chestnut. Was that it, Richard?
Testing Heritage House.
At Heritage House in Chesney.
I have to repeat everything.
No.
Okay. Well, this is another one of those treasures that we got when we went to this
Put it
campground.
on. You're supposed to wear it around the kitchen that way.
This is the bebopping a 70-year-old you ever did see.
It's a Walkman, so she can walk, do her chores, and hang up the laundry, and never
Be without her rock
Keep
and
up the
roll.
Keep up the beat. Oh boy, isn't that something? We went up to a campground called what? The Great Lakes? No. What was it called?
I don't know.
A campground near Hale. Very nice campground.
hail, hail.
Is that? Did you show that?
No.
And the picture and this and
Highway boys just knocked down that cherry tree right there that was kind of dying. This is the same corner by that corner post where Walter helped me cut down some trees 2 years ago, and where everybody got a bunch of poison ivy. And that's Bob and Lloyd out there inspecting the job, and that's Lloyd's tractor over in the field. And that's the grader making the ditch on the other side of the road. Been working here for 2 or 3 days now, clearing out all the brush and sod and making a ditch over there on the other side of the road. That's the foreman down there, Keith Shaver. This big front end loader now is going to clear out the roadside on the west side of the road. And in between times, he loads up the trucks with the dirt they're digging out from the side of the road here. He digs the dirt out, and then he hauls it down in there between Bob's new barn and the road. There was a real low spot there, and now he's dumping it out and filling it in. That was about 2 foot deep trench through there. That's the equipment right there that pushed down that cherry tree a few minutes ago. The grader goes down the road, rolls out some dirt, and he backs up and starts over again. He hit some rocks in the middle of the road. As I mentioned a while ago, we have Keith Shaver here, the Stewart, I'm sorry. I got him mixed up with somebody else. And I gave you the wrong handle a minute ago. But tell us what you're doing here, Keith.
Well, we've been pulling the berm along the edge of the road and making ditches so that we can put gravel in on the road for about approximately a mile and a quarter from Gresham to the bridge. Along this side over here, the ditch had been filled in and the water was running into the road. And if we hadn't taken the dirt out of the ditches and put back slopes on them, then the water would have taken the new gravel and run it right down into the low ground again.
This piece of equipment does a real nice job. He gets right in there and digs out these trees and stumps and cleans off the roadside. And the one thing about this job that Keith was telling you about is that the road is going to be so much wider now, and the ditches are sloping, and there's room to put the
The dot is up. Up. Shall I stop it now? This is October 10th. We're out trying to fix up some stones into the roundabout. These stones came out of the foundation of the first house that was built on this property. He's moving this big stone now over by the other stone. And it's heavy. But he's getting it there. Oh, I think he's got it in place. That is I turn it off?
It's now 4:30 on October the 10th, and the job is just about been completed.
That's moving the stone.
Yep. I'm talking about the stove.
This is the 20th of October, and there's a truckload of trees. This is the 20th of October. I think I flipped the switch off. And this is a load of Austrian pine that have come in. How many of their trees are there? There's about, I guess, 10 or 12. And the boss is out there showing where all these trees are supposed to be put. Got a handy dandy little carrier. This is not the planter. There's a big big tractor that's going to come by here in a little bit and put all these trees into the ground. They are not light. They aren't light at all. And you could lose more than your hat trying to lift a tree. It sure makes it a lot easier putting it on a cart and rolling them to the spots. Each one of these little markers along the way are where a tree is going to be planted. 1, 2, 3, back of the pig, and then the trailer is sitting in there right now. But they're in the process of loading them up. The first couple Fred had to carry right off the truck himself because he couldn't get his little carrier truck up there. There's a nice tall one. Quite windy out here this afternoon. It's a beautiful day. This is the third day in the row we've had sunshine. That's not bad after 6 weeks of rain, solid rain. Record rains in September and also record rains in June. And the farmers are having a terrible time with their bean harvest. If they got anything, it's at most 50% non-sprouted, especially with the soys. Or the navies, I mean. Corn sprouting right in the stalks. So it's been a bad year for farmers. But it's been a good year for trees. And out a little ways, in the walnut grove, the trees have flourished. Some have grown 4 or 5 feet this year. Lots of water. Lots of moisture and the trees like that. It's quite an operation, seeing things happen. And it's very interesting watching a tree move on the grass. Now here in a few days there's going to be a tree planter come out with a big scoop in the end, dig up a bunch of dirt, and it'll pick up these trees and just plant them right in the ground. While the work is going on, there's a couple other people over here doing their job. They're keeping this is 180 degrees from where I was looking before. And David and I just came down to do a little wood chopping, and the dog likes to run. Where's David? There's David. You're gonna have the dog drink some water, Dave? Tell him to drink the water.
Come here, Chuck. Chuck! He's not gonna drink it.
Where is the water?
There.
Right there? There, you do a good job. You could go to the movies, Tuffy. Yeah. You could go to the movies. You do what you're supposed to do.
You know this dog, I've always told him, snap my finger, told him to sit, and he comes to me and he'll sit, because he wants me to pet him. Don't you, Tuffy? Yeah, you're a good dog, Tuffy. You're a good dog. See, David likes you too. Yes, and he would sit for David too.
And I like when kitty.
Would you mind explaining what you just put in the dirt right next to you there?
Oh, 150 bulbs of tulips, daffodils, crocus, windflowers, and snowflowers.
But I can't see him. I can't see him right now.
Well, no, they'll come up next spring.
Should we take a picture next spring here at the same time?
Yes,
Looking at that?
yes, you'll have to
Okay.
take a picture to show what it's like.
Fred just came back with his tractor now, and he's going to unload it from the trailer and start setting up those nice Austrian pine that he's brought here a few minutes ago. There it goes off the trailer. And go and dig a hole now. Backs her right up over the hole and gets the digger down in there and digs out a hole. It's called a tree spade. 3 big spades on there. There it goes in the ground. See it going in? One at a time. There they go. It's all hydraulically operated. That's a lot better than doing it with a shovel, isn't it? And there, go right down in the ground. And there, you got them all 3 in the ground now. Now it should all come out of the ground. There it comes. See, there's a nice ball of dirt took out of the ground. Just the right size. The tree that lays right beside it, that whole tree right there underneath there will go into the, so that goes into the hole. He's going to take this away first. Dump it on his tractor and take it home and put it back in the hole where he removed the tree in the first place. Now he's backing her up onto the trailer again. And that dirt from the hole where the tree goes is going to go right up on there. And he dumped it right out. There it goes. And he has to put the spades back up where they were on the machine so he can go pick up the tree and put that in there. Now you see Fred has 10 holes dug down through there. There's one top laying in there, and he's going down and pick up a tree now in his machine. I'll get down a little closer and see how that's done. Puts the tractor down and opens up his tree spade and kind of rolls the tree in it, and then gets back up on there and hooks her on. On it. Lays her right up in there. Just right up. And take her away. And he goes away with her. And he backs her up over the hole. Sets it right there. Lays it right there, and then he rolls her right in the hole by hand. Those are about a 9 to 10-year-old Austrian pine that he's putting in there. Makes the hole just right and rolls her in with the wire and the burlap on there. Goes right in the ground. And it stays right in there, and there it goes. Now there it is, October 23rd. The boys are up there taking out a 30-foot maple tree. They already have the hole dug for it. Now they're putting the spade down around the tree. It's the same idea as that smaller one, but this has 4 spades rather than 3. Now it's coming out of the ground now. See it come out of the ground? You're going to climb up in there and kind of protect the upper leaves while they're pulling it out. The upper branches, I should say. Lay it down on the truck a little bit before they haul it away to its new home over north of the garage. back up. And lower in the hole. That's the way it's done, Charlie. If they get the tree in the hole, then they pull the spades out. They line her up straight up and down, perpendicular, and then I have to put the brace wires on it to hold it in place. Pack it down, lift the back end of the truck off, and get it in the ground where it's nice and square, and rock it back and forth, and pack the saw around the tree so it'll start growing next spring. And they open up the gate and take the spade right off the tree. Now they're going to dig a hole right behind the tank there for the second tree. Put the old spade in the ground and push it down the hole and make the hole first, and then the tree right behind it there, you can almost see that maple over next to the road right behind is going to go in that hole. Yeah, it was, I didn't have one button pushed, so I should have.
Oh, it was such fun watching that. We got an instant tree. Oh, I hope it lives. Now they put the bad side to the west. Was that good?
No, the good side's to the west. The bad side's towards the house.
But there's no branches on the west side.
Well, there he is getting that second maple tree up there all dug out of the ground. Looks like it's the spade's in the ground now and he's trying to pull it out. There it comes. It's all out of the ground now and he's checking the roots and tipping it forward. Laying her down on the truck. This one you don't have to lay it down so flat because he doesn't have to go into that power line. The first tree you just saw put in the ground, he had to go around behind the garage underneath the power line, so he had to lay the tree down. But this one, he won't have to do that. It just goes about 100 feet straight in front of the truck. See right over there in that hole, right down there. That's where he's going to go with it. There he comes. Back over the hole. Put it right in the ground. That's what you call an instant tree. You very carefully eyeball it so it's perfectly straight up and down. Carefully get it perpendicular, and I think they did a good job. It looks straight up and down to me. And they're pulling the spades out now. So they pull each one out one at a time. They're pulling out the spade on the other side now. Coming up. That makes an 84-inch diameter hole. Well, not quite 84, closer to 80. It's almost 7 feet across the amount of dirt they're taking with the tree. Almost a 7-foot ball of dirt goes to that tree. So there's a lot of roots left in the ground yet that they had to cut off, and it's going to be a challenge now on my part to keep the tree fertilized and watered and braced and cared for a year or two until it's on its own. There he brings up the whole machine now. Opens it up. See, it opens up there and then just dries away from the tree. Well, here's the 10 Austrian pine all in a row, and there's our new tree, and there's Lillian coming home from visiting the neighbors. The new maple, and notice the braces we put around the four corners of each tree. One on each of those braces. They go right up into the tree to keep it from wind blowing and coming loose. Those will be on for about 2 years. Maple we put in on the west side of the house. Not quite as full as the yellow one, but it's quite satisfactory. And again, you see the braces on the tree to hold it in place. In the background, there's a brick house on the left side over there. Here he comes. Sail along. There's your lake. Going down the field. Reagan Bob's alfalfa hay. This is the 19th day of August, second cutting of alfalfa.